I'll start from the dashboard where you would oversee all of your upcoming submissions for the next 12 months. Usually how we do it with law firms, you would provide us with practice areas, we would connect them to your account, and then after that, you'll always have them in your dashboard, sorted by their deadlines, so you never miss them. And from the dashboard, besides deadlines, we can monitor other things, such as readiness, which is based on the completeness of the fields required for each of these submissions. And also we can monitor how many matters and referees we have for each of them, which is based on the data that's inside of your account, but also on the requirements of chambers and partners. Usually how we start with most of the firms that have some past submissions, we have a feature where we can upload those past submission documents, and our system will automatically extract the data from it. Everything from preliminary information, departments and feedback, lawyers involved and their bios, clients and matters as well. This is just to quickly build a database based on your most recent information so we can have you quickly going with your next submission. After that, we have ability to do integrations with firms that have some internal databases. And also for the firms that don't have any kind of database, Ranking Copilot becomes their database. So here for the law firms that have some existing systems and database, we have ability to import automatically or manually data to their accounts in Ranking Copilot. But for the law firms that don't have anything, we simplify the process of adding new matters to the system. So I'll start with this just to show you how quickly we can add a new matter to the system. When we click create a new matter, we have the form that's based on fields that's required for your submission. So instead of manually filling in all those fields, we have a feature that simplifies all of that. And we just need to describe what happened in that matter, and our system will automatically prepare a full matter entry for you. Whether you describe it in English or some other language, the system will automatically translate it if it wasn't in English, and then prepare the matter for you. So I'll just paste some brief matter summary as an example to show you how quickly a matter can be added to your account. So with this, I added a couple of sentences. We hit generate. It usually takes around 5 seconds, and then every single field will have the information on that matter. So from the first page, we have the matter title, department, jurisdictions involved, industry sector. On the next page, it will identify the practice area that was involved, write matter summary, and some other summaries as well. And sometimes, when possible, the system will be able to identify and suggest that the same matter can be used for additional practice area. In my case was capital markets. And then with this, it will write different summaries focused on that specific area. On the next pages, it will identify the client that was involved, lead lawyers, other team members. Sometimes it might suggest referees to be linked to the matter as well. It would be good practice to link them like I have here. If the value was provided, it will be automatically added here. And the last part is completion date, where we can have a matter as ongoing, or we need to provide some kind of end date. So with this, it takes less than a minute to prepare a matter that can be used for many submissions and fit perfectly into those generated documents. This was the view of how we can add matter from marketing or business development side, but we also have the same feature and functionality when a lawyer would like to add that as well. The only difference when a lawyer adds a matter or updates the existing one, a marketing or business development needs to approve those changes before they go to the system. All those matters that have been created and added through the year will automatically appear in your upcoming submissions. So with this, I'll move to the dashboard to show you how quickly we can create a submission. From the dashboard, you need to identify the submission you want to work on. Once you open it, instead of making changes in a Word document, you would be managing data inside of this form. And most of the times, it just requires selecting information and changing the order. The first page is just some general information that needs to be specified in the beginning of the submission form, such as contact person, heads of departments, and the numbers of partners and lawyers as well. Most of this will be automatically added based on your most recent submission, so you don't have to do this every single time. On the next page, we have matters divided into publishable and confidential, where the system will only display those matters that can be used and that comply with Chambers requirements, such as research period and also the specific category. In my case, I'm making submission to corporate M&A, where the system only shows those matters that are either corporate or M&A within the research period. In order for matters to appear in your submission, we just need to select them one by one, like I have here. And if you need to change the order of how you want them to appear, you can also move them around. We also
and maybe one thing, because I know that clients always ask when we show this, oh, but how do matters appear here? And the answer to this is they appear here by means of data extraction of the matters from the past submissions that we do in the beginning, then adding matters manually, like Milos showed before, using that function, and also integration. So all of that feeds matters into the system, and then when matters into the system Ranking Copilot identifies which matters can be included given the research period, given the practice area, and then suggests only those matters which can be included, for, in this case, for corporate M&A practice area in London for Chambers. So no one has to ever calculate the research period, whether this is the correct practice area. The system does it all for you. Yeah, sorry, Milos, keep going.
On the next page, we have lawyers, where we can select those ones that we want to be nominated. And you can do it similar to matters. You just select them one by one. And then here we can add additional information for that lawyer. We have ability to draft the lawyer bios or comments with the AI, which works in a similar way like I showed you previously inside of the matters. But also, if you want to reuse the content from some of your past submissions, which you can once we upload those past submission documents, you can hit import and then you can select where you want to get your data from. And let's say I want to get the lawyer bio from this chamber submission. Once I click replace, it will be automatically imported here. No need to copy paste anything on trying to find that bio in some past documents. Everything is already here and available to reuse. Of course, if you want, you can always use the AI feature to help you with improving it or rewriting it, and you can make changes directly here. Once we save it, in your next submission, you will have ability to reuse this one as well. So every time you save the new data, it will be available to reuse it in your next submission. On the client side, we have them divided to publishable and confidential, where the system will automatically pre-select those clients that can be used based on the research period and also based on the specific category, which in my case is corporate M&A. We have ability to move them around and create the order similar to lawyers and matters. And in case you don't see some of the clients that you want to be used in your submissions, it might be potentially because you don't have a matter for that client, and also that matter might be outside of the research period. But if you still want to reuse your client here, you can always switch to the full database of your clients and just select them from the list. But by default, Ranking Copilot will only present you with the data that can be used for this specific submission. For different descriptions, like department one, they can be also generated and drafted by AI Assistant and imported, like I showed you previously, from one submission to the other. So you can just reuse some of the content or most of it. Once we save the submission, we have ability to download it as a Word document, which I'm going to do now. First, the way it works based on your region, Ranking Copilot will choose the correct form for your region and then automatically insert the information that was previously selected. So with this, you don't have to manually fill in this form. Ranking Copilot will do that for you, make sure that everything is formatted, it's using correct font, and organized in the way that you selected and preserved inside of your submission. So it will include everything from lawyers that you nominated, clients, publishable matters, and of course, on the bottom, we'll see confidential part as well. With this, we also have additional feature. So besides downloading the submission, which you can always do at any point, we can also submit directly to Chambers via integration that we have with them. So with this, it takes just one click for this submission to go directly in your Chambers account, and you don't have to download any kind of Word documents or referee spreadsheets. So with this, we just simplified together with Chambers the process of submitting and avoiding document formats.
And maybe to add to that, that you can submit both the submission and the referee spreadsheet when you're submitting. It's a demo account, so we can't show how it works because it has to have an actual API with Chambers. But those clients that do have the API, whenever they click submit, it asks them if they want to submit the submission only or submission and the referee spreadsheet, and then can in one click just do the submission.
Besides the submission, we also have ability to manage referees. So I'll just head over here to show you how it works. Usually how we do with most firms is that have past referee spreadsheets, we can quickly upload to those spreadsheets here, and the system will automatically extract every single piece of information related to each referee. And this is just a way to quickly build the database so we can reuse that in the future as well. And as mentioned previously, we also do integrations with already existing systems for law firms, so we can connect to your CRM or some other system, so we don't have to create additional database here. But for those ones that don't have any database, this is the best way to structure and save your data here. So when the time comes for your submission, you can quickly identify referees and then export them in the spreadsheet format or just submit directly to Chambers. And to do that, you just need to go to the filters, you select Chambers. If you manage many offices, you just need to select one. Otherwise, it will be automatically pre-selected for you. And then you just need to specify the practice area. The system will automatically sort referees by their status. And from the bottom, we'll see those ones that we call not eligible, which means they're not related to this submission and we shouldn't focus on them. Instead of that, we should focus on these two categories, and one of them is potentially eligible, which means they're related to the category or the practice that you selected, but the system doesn't know whether this referee can say something about your recent work because it doesn't understand whether you work with this person 10 years ago or recently. So it's on you to decide whether you can actually use them or not. For the ones that are in green, we call them eligible, and those referees are also linked to some of your matters. With this, the system knows that those referees actually work with you within the research period and they can say something about your recent work. That's why we call them eligible. And next to each referee, we can also see practice areas that they relate to, and also referring lawyers. Before you decide and select your referees, you also have ability to open each of them and then understand whether those referees were used in the past and how often. And here we can see the usage of referees in the last 3, 6, and 12 months. It will show you exactly where they were used and how often. After this, the last step is just to select any referees from the list, and you can select anyone. We don't stop you from selecting even not eligible, so it's up to you to decide that. Once we click create referee spreadsheet, if we didn't provide information that's required, it will flag here and show what is missing. So if you still want to proceed, you can do that. Otherwise, you can go back and add missing information. And as an example here, we have referring lawyers missing for most of the referees. So we would advise you to go back and add that information. Otherwise, if you proceed further, the system will automatically select the practice area, your office, and directory, and then we can just click download, where the system will just generate that spreadsheet for you. As mentioned previously, you can also avoid this by just clicking submit button to Chambers. So no need to handle any kind of documents. So this is how it looks like when we generate the spreadsheet. Similar to submission, it will automatically insert the information that was available for those referees, so we don't have to do this manually every single time. Through time, your database will have more matters and more information, and most of those matters cannot be used for your next submission cycle. That's why we introduced the feature called Pitches, where you can generate pitches or proposals for your potential clients in a matter of seconds. The way it works, here we have a chat where you can ask any kind of questions. And as an example, I'll use one where I'm going to ask, do we have experience in cross-border M&A in beverage sector? So this is just an example to show you how quickly we can retrieve the information from your database. When I hit enter, the way it works, it will search through a database for matters and everything else, and then provide you with a response. So here, the system found that we have experience in cross-border M&A, specifically in the beverage sector, and then just provide the matter that is related to that. This feature works for any kind of questions. So you can ask questions for clients, what happened in your past submissions, the ones that you have in the dashboard, referees. And also, once you test this feature, you will have ability to upload your Word and PowerPoint templates. So the system can generate them automatically for you in a similar way like we generated those submission documents.
And also, the way some of our clients use this is that whenever a law firm gets an RFP from a client, you can just paste an RFP here, and the system is going to prepare a proposal to that client in seconds. It's going to search through the entire database. It can suggest lawyers and partners that have the most experience based on the information in the system, and then present this experience nicely, and is going to prepare a complete proposal in seconds. And you can also teach the system. So you can say, these are our hourly rates, and it's going to know your hourly rates, and it's going to present those hourly rates in the follow-up proposals. So a lot of the clients, we noticed that a lot of our clients are started uploading thousands of their matters in the system, which is clearly beyond what rankings require. So they're actually actively using Ranking Copilot for pitches as well, not just for rankings.